Skedaddle.
So it was actually there was
go on, Stonka.
so we've had the first one was Jejun, and then there was Snollygoster, Skedaddle, Cacinate, and Defenestrate.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I feel like a challenge. Anyone who can text us a sentence that uses all 5 words correctly, I'll give you free data. How's that?
Sounds good.
Yeah?
Yeah. If you can use all 5 words
correctly in a sentence, text it to us or use the hashtag JoySMS and tweet it at us. Okay? Don't forget your hashtag. One sentence, all of these 5 words correctly used, and you get free data. How's that? Yeah, don't say we never did anything for you. Time for the news review, though, and it is brought to you every morning by the kindness of Interplus. Wherever you are, they make sure water reaches you. And First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. Okay, so let's get to it. But first, let's say a big thank you to our friends at First Atlantic Bank. You know, these guys, they think about you. And they've introduced a set of mobile banking applications just for you in these COVID-19 times and beyond. Okay, so first of all, you can either get the app or you can use a USSD shortcode, which is *442#, and use these for your banking transactions. The app is called the First Atlantic Ghana Mobile App. You can get it from the Google Play Store or the iOS Store, or you can just dial *442#, and that will mean you can now do mobile money transactions. You can make instant fund transfers. You can pay bills. You can purchase airtime or data from Airtel, MTN, Glow, or Vodafone, and so much more. So welcome to the Purple experience on mobile. It's safe, it's secure, it's very simple to use. First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. So what's happening in the world of COVID-19?
Well, today, not much. I guess there's a bit of saturation in terms of new experiences. So actually, the papers are not reporting any massive differences from what I brought yesterday. Right. And our figure, is what it is. And we're trying, right, Winston?
Yes, we're trying. And, the health minister has told all of us what to do. COVID-19 would live with all of us. And so if you don't have to talk, don't talk. And if you wear a mask, you can't drink beer if you wear a mask. God is telling you, don't go and drink beer.
And don't do kokonsa.
Don't leave your house and come and do kokonsa, just because you want to do kokonsa. Yeah. I mean, I just love that, man. Yeah. I love kokonsa.
Did he also say, though, I'm sure I caught this at some point, that they were going to consult with business leaders and so forth on what the protocols should be
at workplaces,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's nice to consult, but I don't know if this is the kind of thing to consult on. I don't know what you think. This is a health and safety issue. I would have liked to see the guidelines set out by the experts. It makes me wonder, what is the structure here? Does anybody here know who makes up the task force for government on COVID-19? Who's on that team? Which areas do they represent? Because you would expect someone from industry to be on that task force, as well as the scientists, the safety experts, and all of these people together, giving the information to those who then come and communicate these decisions to us. That's what I would have thought was happening.
It's also really about perhaps finding out what these companies have the capacity to do. So you sit down with them, discuss, these are the things that I do believe that the government will go into these talks with some sort of baseline requirements.
I think that's the thing that bothers me, the concept that we are going to find out what people's capacity is before we tell them what they must do to save lives.
The reality is that if we can tell them what to do, if they don't have the capacity to do it, it won't get done.
Okay, but what is capacity? If you say you don't have the capacity to keep your staff safe, you shouldn't be operating. There are rules already, there are laws already in our country. So if you can't have people working in your place of work safely, you shouldn't be operating. So it's not about your capacity. I can provide one ladder for 5 people. That's my capacity. Then government says, okay, that's the rule. No. It should be the other way around. The rule is set to keep people safe, and if you can't abide by it, don't do business. That's how I thought it would be. This is a safety issue, Anyway, headlines.
Winston, you go first.
Yeah, so let's start with a chronicle, and as usual with a scripture. That's Exodus 23, verse 1. And listen to this carefully. It's very instructive. You shall not spread a false report, and you shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. That's according to the chronicle. Okay. I'll take it again. You shall not spread a false report, and you shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness.
I wonder whether there's a headline that applies.
Well, media grow about if you're not the
sorry.
So these are the headlines, in the Chronicle.
Okay.
EC is scheming to rig December vote, NDC. We do not need EC to rig election after putting 1.3 million children in school, NPP. I'm sure you get the drift now. And funeral business chain collapses in Kumasi. No more lockdown. Impact is very severe. Minister and NSA diverts GES cash to organize funeral. Wow. We'll get into that.
I can't wait to hear that story. But on the front page of the Daily Graphic, replace these drain covers. Why Amadou is eligible to be special prosecutor. 9,000 hotel guest house workers laid off. NPP NDC haggle over electoral roll. 7,823 payroll ghosts in 21 MDAs. Heads to refund 564 million Ghana cedis looted cash. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic, the Tema motorway interchange opened to traffic, and I'm sure those who live on that side of town are absolutely thrilled because the traffic there has been extremely difficult. That's it for the Daily Graphic.
And the Daily Statement says, we didn't elect weak Mahama for you. NPP replies NDC over rigging claims. So yesterday, 2 press conferences. NDC started at 2 and then NPP responded at 4. Mahama linked to corrupt network. Top UK newspaper gives oxygen to £5 million Airbus bribery scandal. And government engages stakeholders on plans for post-COVID-19 restrictions. Back page, when will the Black Stars start World Cup qualifiers? And King Faisal is not for sale. Alhaji Gruza warns investors to stay away.
On the front page of the Daily Guide, Mahama's £5 million Airbus scandal pops up in the UK. NPP has no rigging plans. Amidou's daughter exposes Ayariga lies. COVID-19 now 5,530. Queen Mother removed for marrying enemy. That's it for the Daily Guide.
And the Ghanaian Times says that tackling 533 positive cases at fish processing plant. Big contact tracing testing begin in Tema. And ECNIA plotting to rig 2020 election, NDC alleges, but NPP denies claim. And COVID-19 confirmed cases now 5,530, 674 recover, 24 die. Back page, Home Municipal Assembly to redevelop public cemetery, and GIS Western Command intercept 35 foreigners and Ghanaians. Okay,
drinking bars, nightclubs remain closed as COVID-19 case count reaches 5,530. Government engages stakeholders on the post-COVID-19 safety measures. That's what Kojo and I were talking about a little earlier on. And at some point, I'm sure we'll get a lot more clarification on what the government is doing and what workplaces must do. NDC's war drums over 2020 elections. Mahama needs rigging machine. We don't. That's according to the NPP. And illegal miners invade Busumtree Forest Reserve. All those stories in the Ghanaian Observer.
And the New Weekend Crusading Guide says, rigging conspiracy, NPP not part. Mark Menu shoots down NDC claims. And allow parliamentary contest in Trobo constituency. NPP polling station executives demand. Well, it's always a cocoa season around that time. But arrest investigate Major Boachijan over warmongering comments. Nanabi and Committee on Decent Movies and Adverts inaugurated.
Okay, the very last paper that I have is the Gold Street Business. Baumia launches integrated ICT system for Maslock world economy to shrink by 3.2% by mid-year. Government reverses reduction in benchmark import values. Inflation breach targets banned for first time in 2 years. Food drives inflation higher to 10.6% in April 2020. And Winston, you remember that yesterday in the papers, when it was reporting on inflation, they talked about plantain, cassava, driving up inflation. Final deadline, yes.
How many bunches?
Very funny. Final deadline for submission of 2019 company returns. That's my last paper, the Gold Street Business.
And the Finder says COVID-19, well, morgues congested as families await lifting of restrictions to organize elaborate funerals. And government engages various stakeholders on post-COVID-19 safety measures upon Chroma and what is in the 2012 voters register for NDC. NPP ask. And NDC accuses ECNI of conniving to rig 2020 polls for NPP, and Dr. Macaulay supports Muslim cheese as they fast.
All right, let's do the online review real quick. It's brought to you by Zenith Bank, in your best interest, and Goyle Good Energy. So let's have a quick look to all valued customers of Goyle. Look, they want you to be safe, and that's the reason why they've set up hand washing stations in all of their service stations. Especially when you handle money, you need to use them. You can also use alcohol-based sanitizer if you're not in a position to wash your hands at that material moment. But here's what else they're doing for you, or with you in mind. They're asking you to maintain a minimum of 1.5 meters between you and other customers while you are on their premises, as well as between you and other attendants. Okay, let's all observe these simple protocols together to defeat the COVID-19 virus. Now, if you exhibit any symptoms, please don't head straight to the hospital. What you need to do is call the hotline and ask for help, and the number is 055 2222 004, or you could try 055 2222 005. Okay, Goyle cares for you. Now, look, you need to keep your motor insurance policy active, or perhaps get a new motor insurance policy, and this is the time to do it with Enterprise, because it means you get some extra goodies in these COVID-19 times. Can't say they never did anything for you. That would be true. Here's what you get: a free life insurance cover for COVID-19 cases, free cash benefit for COVID-19 hospitalization cases, and 50% waiver on any 50% waiver on any motor claim deductibles. Okay, so bear that in mind, and go straight to your friends at Enterprise. The offer is available to both individual and corporate customers. It's also valid from now till the 16th of July 2020. And this is their commitment to you. So remember, at Enterprise Insurance, they care. So stay safe and stay alive. Enterprise Insurance, your advantage. Terms and conditions apply. Here's what's on myjoyonline.com. 24-year-old social media influencer arrested for spreading fake news. And I guess that quotation in front on the front page of the Chronicle would apply to him too. On citynewsroom.com, Akufo-Addo presents 2019 list of presidential staff to Parliament. There's always a bit of a tizzy when this happens, isn't there? Let's see how it goes today. And on CNN.com, Trump betting on his 2016 instincts. Yeah. Okay. All right then. So we've got about a minute or so, haven't we? A couple of minutes at least. What are we settling for?
Well, it's a lot of issues, Kojo, on who's conniving with the Electoral Commission to rig elections. Yesterday the NEC held its press conference first at 2 p.m. where they accused the Electoral Commission and the NIA of scheming to rig the 2020 elections. According to the chairman of the NEC, well, he says that elections are not only rigged on the day of the elections, but sometimes even the registration processes could enhance the chance of one political party and make sure another loses. The point has to do with the Electoral Commission's constitutional instrument that was presented to Parliament that says that you need a Ghana card or a passport to register for your voters register. You also would need two persons who have already registered to vouch for you, or you could go to an affidavit indicating that you're a Ghanaian in order to do so. The NDC is unhappy about it. They say this is a plan because, according to them, if you go to their strongholds, the NIA used about 2,000 machines in registering people. When it got to the Ashanti region and the Eastern region, which are the strongholds of the NPP, they used about 5,000 machines, and so they are saying that a lot more people registered. And if you look at the Ashanti regions, for instance, number of persons who are 18 years and above are 3,222,000. Number of persons who have been issued their cards now, so they've been issued their cards, is 1,620,000. And those who have not been issued is 1,601. If you go to the Volta region, out of the 887,000 who qualify, 386,000 have been issued with cards. 500,000 do not have cards. If you add OT region, out of the 563,000, only 239,000 have their cards. According to the NDC, this is an attempt by the NIA and EC to rig elections in favor of the NPP.
Suspicion all around, eh? All right, time now for us to bring you the BBC News in just a moment after these all important messages. But the show continues after this. Stay with us.